Hello and welcome to In Focus. I'm your host, Yesenia Taveras. And most students throughout the state of Delaware are on spring break. And today we have the pleasure of highlighting a few of those students who are doing phenomenal things, not only in their community, but for their personal lives and future careers as well. Joining me for now is an 8-year-old who is a reporter for Time for Kids. She's also won numerous awards here in Delaware, and she's a student at Pleasantville Elementary. She joins us now. Welcome to the show, Tiana.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
How awesome is this? We're doing right what you love to do here on television.
Yes, this is amazing.
That's awesome. So before we get into your feature questions at Good Morning America and the celebrities you've been able to interview over your lifespan, let's get into a little bit about who you are. Share with us a little bit about you.
So I'm a 8-year-old third grader at Pleasantville Elementary. I'm also the youngest Time for Kids reporter, which is Time Magazine Student Edition. I also love writing. I love to draw. I did an Elks Logs poster contest for my favorite American symbol. And
tell us about that.
Well, it was amazing. You had to draw your favorite American symbol. I actually won it this year and last year.
I was going to say 2 first place consecutive.
Yes, and this year I always seem to go with the Statue of Liberty. Okay. And so I did the Statue of Liberty and the bald eagle, the American flag, and I think that was it. And I really enjoyed drawing. Drawing is one of the things I love along with the writing. I also love baking. I have bake sales, and I started making jewelry.
So you're an entrepreneur at heart.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the other award you won as well, the DSEA award.
So for the DSEA contest, there are 3 categories, and they just opened up the writing contest. And so I challenged myself to do all 3 categories. But first we did have to ask, so I did all 3. I won in all 3. And so for that one, for the writing, I wrote a story of diversity. For the art, I made a freedom quilt.
Oh, nice.
That they used to help the slaves get across the Underground Railroad. And then I did a digital media contest, which I was pretending that I was a reporter. And I was reporting live for DSEA News at 4. And so those were the 3 things I did.
And what is it that you like the most about drawing, being able to tell a story?
Is to get to meet new people and learn more about them and being able to share their story with the world.
That's amazing. And Tiana, who also goes by Tiana Sheree Sirmons, you started this at such a young age, and there might be other little girls who are looking at you and are thinking, oh my goodness, I might be so nervous in front of the camera. I don't think I can speak well. I'm too young. This cannot be the life for me. But you've been doing it. So tell us a little bit about your thoughts about that.
My thoughts is that it's hard at first when you're first a starter and you're like, what do I do? How do I do this? But then as you get your practice, and then it comes easier and easier and easier each step that you take, and as your experience gets bigger.
Awesome.
And that's what it was like for me. At first I was like, I'm scared. I don't know if I can do this. But then as I got experience interviewing people and researching and asking the questions, then I'm like, okay. And then it started becoming easy for me.
And you were able to appear on Good Morning America.
Yes.
And not only did you get to meet and speak with Robin Roberts, but you also met a couple other celebrities. So tell us a little bit about that process. Take us back to this experience.
With that process, and especially meeting Robin Roberts, I've been able to interview people like Letitia Wright from Black Panther, Carol Burnett. I've also been able to ask a question to Chelsea Clinton. And I've met so many...
This is it right here. It's amazing.
I've been able to meet a lot of other people.
And what were you feeling right here, Tiana, when you were sitting there in front of all those people?
My feeling when I was sitting in front of all those people is that I'm brave, I can do this. And the question I actually asked was about using my voice.
Okay.
And I'm using my voice right now. I'm using her advice. I'm using what I asked. So it was a big experience, especially meeting her.
And tell us about this experience. Everyone loved Black Panther when that movie came out, so you were able to ask her some questions?
Yes. It was really big getting to meet Letitia Wright. I really loved her in Black Panther, and the thing is, my middle name is Sheree, and her character's name in the movie was Sheree.
What a great connection.
So yeah, it was really nice. I was super excited to meet her, and with this one with Carol Burnett, it was really nice. She is like really, really nice, and she's funny. She even made me laugh.
That's awesome. That means you
yes.
have a great connection on set.
Yes.
That's always a great thing.
Yes.
And so what do you do to prepare yourself for these moments?
What I do is I practice. I do my research, which is another important thing, but I practice. All I really do is practice.
And why is it so important? You mentioned about using your voice, and there's a lot of topics that we can discuss in regards to just what's going on in our community, in the world. There's a lot of crime. There can be even bullying in school.
Yes.
So why is it so important to use your voice? And what have you found out by using it?
Well, what I found out is that it can help a lot more than like if there is someone bullying you. You don't want to go like, stop, because then they'll realize you're scared and there's nothing that you're going to do about it. Like me, sometimes like someone might do something to me, and this is true. Someone might do something to me and I just leave it alone. I don't use my voice. I don't step up. And then they just keep on doing it and thinking like, she's not going to do anything if I just keep doing it. But then once you use their voice, they're like, oh, she is going to do something if I keep going. So that will definitely get them to stop.
That's right. And using your strong voice and taking a stance.
Yeah.
Now, have you received any type of like negative feedback? Because there's both good and bad when you're a reporter, right? And as you can tell, you've been living in this industry. So have you actually gone through that experience, or everything's been a good ride so far?
So with that, I have gone through some experiences like that in school. There have been bad things, and then my mom always tells me the same thing. You have to use your voice. You have to tell them to stop, because otherwise they're just going to keep doing it to you every time.
That's right.
So I have to use my voice, and sometimes it's hard when you're someone that's really, really scared and you don't know what to do with your voice. But you just try, kind of.
Really scared and also really kind. Sometimes a lot of us have a kind
heart.
Yeah,
that's like me. I'm sweet, I'm kind, and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or be mean. But sometimes there is a time where you have to do that.
That's right, and I'm glad you shared that. You have to take a stance for who you are, and you're actually following your dreams. You have a goal that you've set, and you're following it. It comes with a lot of success, but you're also able to handle the bad things that come along with it.
Yes.
That's amazing. So let's talk about now your opportunity as a Time for Kids reporter. How did that happen?
Well, it started when...
This is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, this is the picture of when I was in...
You even have a press pass with you, have your clipboard for your questions. How did you get to this place?
How I got there? Well, I started originally with modeling. Modeling was my original thing. And so I started out at a red carpet broadcasting journalism class at New York Fashion Week. And from there, I actually met someone who did the recruiting for the kids segments at Good Morning America. And so I guess she really liked what I did. So my mom signed me up, and I kept getting called back. I think now I've been on about 8 times.
On Good Morning America?
On Good Morning America.
Wow, that's a record I can't even beat.
And so from there, me and my mom started looking for other opportunities for me to be able to do what I love, which is reporting. And so we came across the Time for Kids contest, and we decided to put me in. And from there, there were 2 rounds. For the first round, I had to do an article on a local event in Delaware. And for the second event, I had to cover a hometown hero, which was doing something good for the world. And so, and I actually had to do a video of the top 5 amazing things about myself, which was I'm curious, I'm a great listener, I do bake sales, and I have my own jewelry line. I created something called hula reading, which is where I hula hoop and read at the same time.
How do you manage that? That's multitasking to another level.
Yeah. How do I manage it? Well, really what you do first is you start hula hooping, and then you just pick up a book, and it's something that one of my friends said is, how can you still read the book when you're hula hooping and you're moving around? Well, it really just takes focus. It takes focus. You have to be focused on the book more than hula hooping, but you kind of have to have the same pace.
That's
so.
amazing.
Then I'm able to control it.
That's amazing, Tiana. Yes. And so back with the Time for Kids, after you got the position, like what happened after that? What were you able to do?
I was able to do everything. With the press pass, I'm able to get into events. I'm able to get into so many different things now just because I'm a reporter. I can go to do press at almost anything as long as I can cover it.
Right.
But I can do almost everything.
And now, did they train you? Because I saw you there. You have your recorder. You have the laptop like most of us do while we're editing and writing our scripts and stories. Did they train you, or you kind of just learned along the way?
I kind of just learned along the way. I learned how to hold the recorder correctly, how to speak with my big voice. And mainly my mom was like the one teaching me. So they didn't train me. It's almost like I trained myself with the help of my mom.
That's amazing. And your mom is currently watching, so
yes.
Big shout out to Tiffany Sirmons. Ms. Sirmons, thank you so much for being that supporter.
Yes.
How important is it to have a mother like your mom to support you along the way while you're pursuing your dreams?
It is the most important thing to me. She is everything to me. Without her, I wouldn't be doing all the stuff that I'm doing. But she makes sure that I'm successful. She makes sure my dreams come true. So I'm very lucky to have a mom like her.
And does that help you? So that way, not only does she support and help you, but now you know that you have someone there for you and you can just focus on what it is you have to do?
Yes, and I know that she's always going to be there going like, yes, Tiana, you can do it. No matter what the other people say, no matter who says, you can't do it. You cannot do it. She is always there supporting me and saying, Tiana, yes, you can. So, yeah.
That's amazing. I love that about her. I have supporting parents as well, and it makes a major difference in your life. But for those who don't have supporting parents, that's why I wanted to bring you on, to show them that it's still possible to pursue your dreams.
Yes.
Right? And so in regards to that, what about journalism? Like, how did it attract you?
Well, I love talking. That is the main thing about me. I also like talking to people, getting to know them, getting to share their stories. And
oh, this is amazing. Tell us about this experience.
This experience is when I got to go to the Harlem Globetrotters game. I got to interview the basketball player Hot Shot and another one named Thunder. And it was a good experience. I loved interviewing them. This was, I don't remember, but it might have been towards the start because, I still have my paper. Right. But I learned not to exactly read off the paper.
That's right.
And that was actually a very fun experience. It's like I've kind of been I've been good friends with them now. It was really.
You made a connection.
Yes, I made a connection, and I really enjoyed this time.
And so you were saying the most things that you like about interviewing people is they get to tell you their side of the story?
Yes. Okay. So, like, when I interview them, and even when they interview me.
I see.
We always, we always get a chance to tell our unique parts and our side of the story.
Okay.
So, it's like they may have a different side, like maybe someone else wants to do this, but you have your own unique side.
That's right.
of whatever it is. So it's a chance to tell your unique story from everyone else's that may be doing what you're doing.
And that's a wonderful point that you made, because that goes hand in hand with writing. Just take, for example, going into a library or Barnes & Noble, there's so many books written by different authors.
Yes.
So it's not like looking at it, I'm only one person, how can I make this dream possible? You can, because you're putting your spin on it.
Yes. And it's very different, like, almost like you said, walking to a library where all the books are made from one author. But then it's different, because then when you have all those authors to choose from, they're all telling a different story. They all have a different tale. Even if it has the same title or it's the same name, they all have a different story that flies through the pages inside.
That's amazing. I love reading.
Same. I love reading. Reading was one of the things that I started doing to get me start making books.
Okay.
And that actually drives my mom crazy. I loved reading. You could give me any book and I'll read it. I'm working on a book review right now, which I can't tell you what it is.
Okay.
But I'm working on one now, and it's like, I was telling my mom, I can easily fly through these pages. But it is a long book, but still, I love reading so much that I could just fly through the pages.
And reading helps you tell your own story in a way, too.
Yes. Like, if you read a book, let's just say you wanted to be an author. Like me, I read books, and then I'm like, oh, this gave me an idea. And so a lot of my ideas come from books. So I love reading for that. I love writing. And they're almost like they are the same things.
And Tiana, you love reading, you love writing, you love art, you're also a great cook, you love to cook too. You do so many amazing things being just an 8-year-old. What could you tell to that person who's watching now that wants to be a reporter or wants to pursue the things that you're doing?
I would say to them, just do it. Just go for that dream. Even though people might say, or even maybe they say, I can't do it. I want to do this. I want to be there someday, but I can't do it.
Okay.
Still go for it. Have hope, because that's what I did. Like, one day I was like, am I sure that I could be a reporter? But then I could. I just tried it. I believed in myself. And so now I'm ended up a Time for Kids reporter.
And what's next for you? Any big plans?
Yes, what's next for me is to start my own podcast. I also want to write a book. And I think that's it, really. But my main thing is to continue cooking, continue reporting. When Time for Kids is over, to become an independent journalist.
That's amazing, and you can do it. You've already have the skills, and you can start a trend for the younger generation, actually. And who knows, one day I might be at a press conference or an event, and you'll be right there next to me. We'll both be telling a story.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations on all of your success, Tiana.
Thank
I really
you.
am so happy for you.
Thank you.
And best of luck. I know you're going to need some sponsors along the way. Like any one of us who's trying to pursue a dream, it takes financial assistance as well.
Right.
So best of luck, okay?
Thank
and
you.
we'll stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out today.
You're welcome.
And on behalf of all of us here at WITN 22, we'd like to say thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Yesenia Taveras.